INEC, National Orientation Agency, to strengthen collaboration on public sensitization, mobilization to increase voters' participation during elections. On the foreign scene, Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky calls for regime change in Russia. And in sports, Lagos begins Catch Them Young multi-sports trials ahead of the 2025 National Youth Games. And now the details. I am Akan Usen. Lagos State Government, through the Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Relations, is set to enhance the capacity of emergency responders in the state through capacity building initiatives and international trainings. The development follows a meeting between the Commissioner for Special Duties, Olubenga Oyerinde, and a councillor from Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta, Canada, Ajibola Bitoye, held at the ministry in Alausa. Oyerinde expressed enthusiasm about the partnership, citing its potential to improve the quality of work of first responders in disaster and crisis management. Earlier, Councillor Abitoye expressed her interest in collaborating with the state in the areas of youth empowerment and education, fire prevention, and safety. The Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BON, has announced the extension of the deadline for submission of entries for the 2024 Nigeria Broadcasting Awards. Entries will now close on August 30, 2025 for the awards scheduled to hold in October 2025. Secretary TNBA Steering Committee Usman Bello said the extension of the deadline follows numerous reports of technical difficulties experienced in submitting entries to meet the earlier deadline of July 31, 2025. Bello said feedback from many prospective entrants indicate difficulties with internet connectivity, noting that it became necessary to extend the submission window to allow all qualified professionals the opportunity to participate. He said all entries must be accompanied by the entrant's resume and submitted as either an MP3 file for radio or an MP4 file for television to entries at tnbawards.ng, stating that detailed submission guidelines are available at www.tnbawards.ng. Bello added that the Nigeria Broadcasting Awards serves as a prestigious platform to recognize and celebrate excellence in the Nigerian broadcasting industry. The forward operating base, Escravos of the Nigerian Navy, said it has dismantled 10 illegal refining sites in Warri South local government area of Delta State. Commanding officer of FOB Escravos, Ikenna Okoloago, said the illegal refining sites were deactivated in July 2025 at Obodo Omadino community, following a series of coordinated operations guided by credible information. The naval boss said the exercise was part of the ongoing Operation Delta Sanity 2. Okoloago re-emphasized the base's unwavering commitment to dismantling illegal refining infrastructure and safeguarding the nation's oil and gas assets. And now to the rest of the stories. The Independent National Electoral Commission and the National Orientation Agency, NOA, have pledged to strengthen their collaboration on public sensitization and mobilization to increase voters' participation during elections. NOA Director General Lanre Issa Onilu said when he paid a courtesy visit to the INEC chairman Mahmood Yakubu in Abuja. Issa Onilu emphasized the need for joint efforts to address the lack of awareness regarding the mandates of INEC and NOA at the grassroots levels across the country. In his remarks, Yakubu stated that INEC's mandate of conducting elections and electoral activities could not be effectively discharged without advocacy and sensitization of citizens, for which NOA is a central institution. Yakubu expressed INEC's readiness to work with NOA, especially ahead of the November 8 Anambra governorship and future elections and the forthcoming nationwide continued voter registration commencing on August 18. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has mourned the passing of a former member of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Victor Akonde, who died on Wednesday. The governor described the death of Honorable Akonde, a lawyer who represented Ojo State Constituency 1 during the 8th and 9th Assemblies, as a shocking and devastating loss to him personally and the people of Ojo and Lagos State. In a statement issued by his special advisor on media and publicity, Boyega Koshile, the governor commiserated with the deceased family, friends, and political associates, especially in the Ojo Constituency 1, where the late Akonde represented for 8 years. And now to foreign news. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says the world should push for regime change in Russia, arguing that President Vladimir Putin otherwise will continue to destabilize Russia's neighbors. His remarks came at a conference hosted by Finland, marking 50 years since the signing of the Helsinki Final Act, a document meant to improve relations between Cold War adversaries. The Ukrainian head of state also said it was time to put frozen Russian assets to work against Russia. Zelensky had been invited to attend the Helsinki conference in person, but gave his address remotely. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said last week that Russia will be participating but will not be sending any high-level representatives to the meeting. And now sports. Lagos State Sports Commission has commenced its Catch Them Young multi-sports trials, marking a significant milestone in the preparation for the 2025 National Youth Games. The talent identification program aims to discover, nurture, and develop talent who will represent Lagos State not only at the 2025 National Youth Games (NYG) in Asaba, Delta State, but also as a pipeline that will produce champions who will represent Lagos State on the national and international stage. Speaking at the venue of the trials for track and field events, Director General of the Lagos State Sports Commission, Lekan Fatodu, emphasized the strategic importance of early talent identification in building a sustainable sports ecosystem. Fatodu said the Commission is exploring partnerships with international sports development organizations to provide additional exposure and training opportunities for exceptional athletes emerging from the trials. And that's all for the news at 4. Use the walkways where available to avoid accidents. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms on X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961, on YouTube. Subscribe and watch us live on our channel Traffic Radio 961. Visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. You can also listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM live on My Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration provided 1,400 hostel beds for Lagos model colleges? You can get more details on the Lagos State government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State government, through the Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Relations, is set to enhance the capacity of emergency responders in the state through capacity building initiatives and international trainings. The Independent National Electoral Commission and the National Orientation Agency, NOA, have pledged to strengthen their collaboration on public sensitization and mobilization to increase voters' participation during elections. We also told you that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says the world should push for regime change in Russia, arguing that President Vladimir Putin otherwise will continue to destabilize Russia's neighbors. And in sports, Lagos State Sports Commission has commenced its Catch Them Young multi-sports trials, marking a significant milestone in the preparation for the 2025 National Youth Games. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Zainab Adibeshin. I am Akan Usen. Thanks for listening and please stay safe. Good afternoon.